Yeah, unbelievable. Definitely highlighted the career so far. It all started with an entry fee of $175. Signed up at the local qualifier at Kinsale Country Club, Columbus, Ohio. Shot 68, finished second. There was 120 guys that took 7 spots. So I made it through sectionals. I made it through locals, made it to sectionals. The sectional tournament was in Springfield, Ohio, down near Dayton. That was 77 spots. They take 4 guys. I shot 66, 68 for 600 total. And when I was practicing, I kind of talked with the people and asked them what normally gets out. They say 6 under actually normally wins. So my goal was to get to 6 under. So shoot 66, shoot 68, finish 6 under. I'm thinking, okay, should be pretty solid. I think I was in 3rd place when I finished. I finished pretty early on. My friends there, my grandpa was there, and about a half hour later, 2 guys come in and they beat me and they knocked me out of the top 4 guys. So immediately everyone's kind of upset and disgruntled. And I was a pretty even keel. I'm thinking, okay, I mean, God's got a plan for me. I'm not worried about this. I think it's going to be okay. And then I started hearing rumors that I'm going to be in the playoff for the first alternate spot. And again, I talked to the director and said, hey, first alternate spot normally makes it to the U.S. Open. So, okay, whatever. Me and my friends ended up we went to Rallies, got a cheeseburger and a milkshake. Kind of relaxed a little bit, and got back to the course, warmed up for 20 minutes, and ended up winning on the second playoff hole. And what they do, it's called the reallotment list. Springfield was 4th in the reallotment list, and that's basically 4th in strength of field. And USGA opens up 6 spots for first alternates and for guys that cracked the top 50 in the world the previous week. So Dad and I kind of did the math, and we saw that there was one guy that could crack the top 50, and he had to win the St. Jude's Classic, which was the week before the US Open. So in our minds, we're thinking they're going to take 5 first alternates, and with me being in the 4th spot, I'm thinking, heck, I think I'm going to the US Open. So the players' relation of the USGA director, USGA guy, he called and was kind of keeping me updated and said, now that we can't tell you anything, we can tell you the Sunday that week of if you make it in or not. So my caddy and I, Garrison, I went to school with him, played golf with him in college, I'm alone. We drove up on Sunday, and we were in Chicago, and that's when we got the phone call from the director. He said, hey, Tyler Light, you're playing in the 2017 US Open. And that was just an unbelievable phone call, and I mean, I kind of already knew that I was playing in it, but it was just to get that confirmation that, hey, you're playing. So the rest of the ride, I don't remember the rest of it. It went super fast. But we get to the Players Hotel. It's downtown Milwaukee, and check in. We're kind of looking around, seeing a lot of like big name players. We go into the elevator, and I bump into Charles Schwartzel. I was like, oh, excuse me, sorry, excuse me. He didn't say a word, he just said, yeah, whatever. But so me and Garrison were like, oh, this is so cool, this is awesome. Next day, go to the golf course, and the emotions of just thinking of just everything you've been through the previous year, finally there. It was just incredible. And we show up there, they take care of you so well. It doesn't matter what your name is and who you are. We get out of the vehicle, and the guy comes over to us and says, hey, we got your courtesy vehicle for the week. Here's your keys. Just go over there. It's that Lexus SUV right over there. Okay. Throw all our stuff in there and check in, get our little badge, and everyone's introducing themselves. Hey, how's it going? I'm just happy to be there. get to the practice facility and look around. I walk next to Jason Day, Roy McIlroy, and it's just so surreal. But by the second golf ball I hit, it was kind of just like, okay, back to business. This is where you belong. This is where you train for your entire life. It was kind of business as usual. And how practice rounds work, you go to basically a computer and you see all the different tee times that are available. And my swing coach and I, Mike Emery, he's over at Brookside, he was telling me, hey, you should probably play with as big as name as possible so you get used to playing in front of a crowd. Okay. All right, let's do it. So the first practice round, played with Matt Kuchar, Gary Woodland, and Ryan Palmer. Phenomenal guys. I mean, had an absolute blast. Played 9 holes, the back 9, went really well. Great guys. Next day, I played with Bryson DeChambeau. It's so weird to think he's younger than me, and just all the success he's having. It's just so he's a good Christian guy. We got to talking, and so happy that he went with John Deere. I reached out to him on Instagram, but he didn't message me back. Next day I played with, well, that's kind of a funny story. So, well, not really funny, but I was supposed to play with Jason Day, Adam Scott, and Bryson again. And so I go up to the tee box and kind of sit there, and Jason comes up, and Adam comes up, Bryson comes up, and another guy just puts the tee in the ground and just tees off. And normally, like the USGA guy will announce you as to who's playing. And I asked him, I said, who's in this group? He goes, Jason Day, Tyler Light, Adam Scott, Bryson DeChambeau. He goes, are you Tyler Light? I said, yes, I am. He's like, well, what's that guy doing? I'm like, I don't know. What's he doing? So he kind of gets all nervous and then just announces, I forget the guy's name, but just announces him. He goes, I'm sorry, I don't know what to do. Okay, thanks. There goes my dream. And then Jason Day's caddy comes over to me and he goes, hey, aren't you Tyler Light? Yes. Well, why aren't you playing with us? I don't know, that guy just jumped in and played. He goes, well, why aren't you raising hell about it? I don't know, there's thousands of people. I'm just happy to be here. Oh, Jason does not stand for that. I got you. I'm going to take care of you. I got you. He walked away, and that's the last I saw him, so I'm not sure what he did. Thanks, Jason. All those guys missed the cut, so. But that night, I was really curious to see. I wasn't curious to see how my emotions were going to be on the course. I was more curious how my emotions were going to be off the golf course. See, the previous year, I almost quit the game. I wasn't sleeping at night. I could not turn my brain off. During tournament week, I was just so overwhelmed with like my golf swing, my game plan, what am I going to do on this hole, and I just wasn't enjoying it. I talked to my Malone coach, he's here, Coach Island. He said, just give me one more year. Just give it one more year. All right, I'll give one more year. And so I come to realize that God's hand is on you throughout every process. And it wasn't until I took a step back and said, okay, let your will be done. In his word says, cast all your cares and worries onto him. And that's much easier said than done, but it wasn't until then that I was able to sleep at night. I was able to trust him and trust the process that no matter what happens in my life, that's his plan for me. That's what's going to make me the happiest. So that week, that night, I slept through the entire night, slept so good, woke up feeling great. Got to the golf course and felt pretty confident. I knew the golf course set up really well for me. Played well. First 9 holes, I was 4 under, or through 10 holes, I was, I think, 4 it's harder to push away emotions rather than just accepting it and accepting what you're feeling. So we saw the leaderboard, looked at my caddy, said, "Look how awesome that is. Check that out." You see Ricky Fowler, Patrick Reed, Ernie Els, and Tyler Light. That's so cool. But I mean, accepted it, didn't try to ignore it, just accepted it and played on. And at that point, I actually got more comfortable. And I learned about myself that I actually play much better when I'm kind of nervous, kind of excited. It's when I got comfortable is when the golf kind of slipped a little bit. But Caddy reassured me. He said, "This is the U.S. Open. It's supposed to be tough." Okay, all right. I think I shot one over the first day. And honestly, the cut never even crossed my mind. I just wanted to play best I could. So second round came and was playing really well. And got later in the round and started thinking, okay, playing pretty good. And I actually never saw a leaderboard, so I never saw what the cut line was. And I get to the last hole, a 600-some yard par 5. And I hit it left into the heather, and I had 290 yards, but I had a great lie because I hit so far left. It was where the spectators were. I had 290 yards, and I looked at my caddy and said, "Hey, I think I can go for it. I can get a 2-iron up there by the green." He goes, "No, you're laying up." Okay. Lay up. And at that time I'm thinking, he knows something that I don't know. And next shot, hit a wedge. I guess it hits the hole. And I have about a 6-footer for birdie. And I get over the 6-footer, and Garrison goes, "Okay, you're on the cut line, don't 3-putt." All right, I can do that. So I just babied this thing, tapped it in. My family was there, and everyone went bonkers, and it was nice because I was the very last group, and so I knew I had made the cut, and it was such an emotional roller coaster, making the cut and then having the very first tee time the next morning, and that was an uncharted territory for me. I didn't really plan for that. So I think that's kind of what took a little bit toll on the weekend. I think I shot 78 on Saturday. I played with Webb Simpson, phenomenal guy, U.S. Open champ, good Christian man. He ended up giving me his phone number. He lives in Charlotte. He said, "You're in the Charlotte area. Stop by, we'll play some golf, have you over to the house." Cool. And then I played with Ernie Els on Sunday, and phenomenal guy. Absolutely phenomenal. Made me feel comfortable. Reached out to me, walked over to me, had a conversation. There was actually one hole where the wind was so bad. I got over my ball, and the wind moved it. And I knew that you play it from where it is at the time, and But Ernie was like, "I want you to call a rules official over and get this straightened out." Okay, no problem. So rules official comes over, and he kind of like hikes up his pants and says, "Okay, what did you do?" "I got over the ball and the wind moved it." You didn't cause it to move." "No, I didn't cause it to move." "But did you touch it?" "No, I didn't touch it." "Did you move it back?" And Ernie comes over, "Listen, man, the wind caused it to move. Does he play from here or does he play from there?" And the guy goes, "He plays it from there." So Ernie's like, "Okay, get out of here." So I kind of look at him, Ernie's like, so that just kind of tells you the kind of guy Ernie is. He's looking out for me. And then on the very last hole, we're standing there, just kind of waiting for the guys in front of us. And he looks at me. He said, 10,000 people signed up for this tournament. There's 68 guys still here. You're one of them." I was like, "Thanks. That means a lot. Thanks." It just kind of puts it all in perspective. And I ended up birdieing the last hole. I think I shot 79 that round, but finished on a good note. After the round, I kind of asked him for some advice, and he actually noticed my name early on. He noticed my name on the leaderboard. He
He's like, yeah, so we got off to a hot start, we kind of flew off a little bit. I was like, oh, he saw my name. It's pretty cool. But I asked him, I said, okay, so what do you do when things are going awry? How do you start over? He said, well, what I normally try to do, he plays tries to play 3-hole tournaments. Cuts it down to 3 holes. He goes, I want to play this 3 holes in even par. The next 3 holes, I want to play one under. And that was, so I kind of asked him, I was like, did you do that? And he goes, no, that's why I'm here. But what an awesome experience, went so fast. Hoping to get back there. But right now, I'm just playing on some mini tours. There was what's called the Buckeye Tour. It's kind of a local tour. Cuts down on expenses. Money's tight, and trying to eliminate as many expenses as possible. Have the G Pro Tour that's kind of down in Charlotte, so I'm playing a couple of those events. And with making the cut at the US Open, I actually go straight to second stage for the Webb.com. So that's really what's the next big tournament. That's in November down in Dallas. So hopefully that goes well and get through final stage and get on the Webb.com and make it back to the PGA Tour and play in the Open again. But thanks for having me. Really appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a good night.